Hey everybody, welcome back to Marsh RC for the next update on the TRX-4 Bronco to Jurassic Park hard body Rubicon build. This is where I'm at right now, so let's get into it. So I got most of everything painted. The only thing I need to do yet as far as paint is to figure out where I'm going to put the stripes. Kind of thinking bringing a stripe up from down here kind of at the angle up to the roof, and then on the roof doing both of these sections, kind of following this outline, doing that whole thing red. And then in the back here, maybe bringing one up kind of like this across the window on both sides, and then just doing a thin red stripe across, and then I don't know, a number or something right here. Other than that, I mean, most of the paint is done, most of the accents are painted. The little, like the door handles and the mirror, the windshield wipers, they're all currently sitting over here still drying. They're all rubber, so it's taking a little bit for it to dry. It takes about 2 days longer than the actual plastic. Got the bumpers done, the spare tire carrier on the back. So let's give you guys a better view of it. So we got the fender flares going on, which are the body, like the fender flare body armor flares, I think is what they're called. Got the hood scoop up on the front. Got the wheels, the G-made wheels, done up nice and clear coated with the Pitbull growlers mounted on them. These are the original TRX-4 Bronco side rails, rock sliders, side steps, whatever you want to call them. Gonna probably get some aftermarket ones at some point, just hasn't been real high on the to-do list at the moment. On the front, this is what the front's currently looking like. Got it all painted up. Got the angry eye grill. You can't really see it too well in video, but if you seen the Facebook post or the Instagram post, there's the American flag grill insert in there. You can kind of see it, but not that well on camera. You can see it a lot better in person. Got the worn winch on there. I think I'm going to put lights in here just so that I don't have empty holes. Kind of bothers me a little bit. And then I got the halo lights to put in, the angry eyes. Just haven't done any of the lighting yet. Still need to get the full light kit for the headlights and the tail lights and all that kind of stuff. So still working on that. For the rear, this is what we got going on the rear. Again, got the bumper painted. Still need to put the shackles back on that. Haven't done that yet. And then of course probably put rear lights in here, just because I don't like seeing the holes. I'll probably put white in here for auxiliary lights. Got the light buckets, 4 in here. They're currently sitting over there, waiting until I get the lights to put them on. And then I think I'm going to get like a piece of metal mesh type stuff and fabricate some sort of rock guards for the tail lights as well. So that's all that. I really wish I didn't have this gap here, but when you have the spare tire on it, you can't really see it. I don't currently have another set of the G-made wheels because they're sold out like everywhere for that particular one. Like I said, when that's sitting on there, you can't see that gap, so it doesn't really bother me too much. What I had to do for the bumpers to get these bumpers to fit on, I'll try and get the best angle I can so you guys can see. If you see the frame, I basically cut the frame off right where the word Traxxas begins on both sides, and that's how far back I had to cut it to get the bumper mount to sit where I wanted it to, as far as height goes, and then also for as far as how far it'll stick out. I had to drill new holes in the frame, obviously, to put the bumper mount in, and then I had to drill new holes into the mounting pins that actually attach to the bumper, like the ones that slide through there. Not too difficult, wasn't too much of a pain, but still some metal fabbing, I guess you can call it. On the front side, I had pictures of it, but I didn't take video of it. The way the bumper mount originally sat, the front bumper was really low Like the top of the bumper, which is here now, used to be like down here to right here, used to be the top. So all I did really was just take the bumper mount off, flip it upside down, and that brought the bumper up to a decent height. So I didn't really have to do too much on the front side to get the bumper to mount correctly. Plus it gained me probably half an inch, maybe a little bit more of clearance on the front bumper. So that's always a plus. Now for the interior, I haven't really done anything on the interior yet. Still kind of playing around with some color schemes on the inside. I'm gonna keep it red and black mostly. I have the dash insert right here. What I did was I cut out the 4 holes for the gauges, and then I cut out this whole like stereo area. I know in the original Jurassic Park Rubicon or Jeeps, they didn't have that little display screen. It was only in the green, red, and yellow like Explorers that had that little display screen. But I thought it'd be a cool little thing to go in here. Like I said, I'm not really sticking that close to the movie. It's more of an inspiration at this point. So I'm going to do another video on this once I get this all figured out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of clear plastic, probably Lexan, because I got a bunch of Lexan trimmings left from trimming bodies. Put that, glue that in the back here, and what I'll do is I'll take some like Sharpie fine tips and draw some design on those, and then I'll put a light behind it to light up the dash. So it's just another little feature going on for this build. So let's dig in to the interior, let you know what else is going on. This thing takes a second. I'm gonna cut here for a sec. And we're back. So on the interior, the one thing that is going to happen on the interior, and I've really been trying to avoid it as much as possible, is putting any electronics or anything in the interior, because I want to have a pretty detailed interior and keep the detail that came with this model. So one thing first off I'm going to have to do is cover up this hole that I had cut for the mini servos. I'm just going to take some, probably again, clear Lexan, make a little box basically around it, paint it black. You'll never really see it. This big hole gets covered up by this big hole here gets covered up by the dash, so I'm not worried about it. So back here in the back, because I'm going to be running the wireless winch controller, and I'm going to be running the RC 4-wheel drive 4-channel wireless remote light controller. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be keeping these back here in the rear, and then all that's going to be running off its own battery. I got these little short packs, 1.3 2S 1300 milliamp lipos right here. I got a couple of these laying around. These are where I'm going to run my winch and my lights off of, so they're not running off the main battery. Basically, I'm going to have this back here as well somewhere. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably cutting these wires shorter so that they don't have quite a big lead on and take up as much space. And then I got some thin like balsa wood that I'm going to create I'm going to make a box, basically a crate. Haven't really decided if I want to go like a wooden type crate or if I want to find another way and go more like a pelican case style. But I'm going to have these all in a box of some sort. That way they're not just sitting there exposed, because I don't want to see them. I want to keep everything nice and tight. The roof over here is, because of the paint, kind of got stuck on there, so I gotta get that out. I need to find a way, because I'm gonna have a roof rack on here, still sitting back there, hasn't been painted yet. I need to find a way to be able to take this roof off put it on, take it off rather easily without having a bunch of screws and everything everywhere, while still having the roof rack on, because the roof rack will be mounting here, and then I'm going to alter the back of the roof rack, and it's actually going to end up mounting on top of the fender flares. I have magnets. I have these magnets here. They're really strong, so I could probably get away with using these. I just haven't quite figured out the way that I want to do it. And they're a little big. I know they have the rare earth magnets that are a lot smaller, but I have these on hand, so I want to try and use these first, so I don't have to buy extra stuff. I did get some vinyl decals made that will have the Jurassic Park logo on. I have a test one right here. It's not vinyl, it's just on paper. Just use this to try and get the size. I'm thinking maybe a little bit smaller, but I'm thinking about, you know, placement right about here, and that will be that. So that's it. That's my update to the TRX-4 Jurassic Park Jeep, hardbody Jeep build. There's more to come. There'll be probably, I don't know, 3-4 videos yet on this as far as the build, and then we'll finally be able to get this thing out on the trail. Oh, one last thing, because I had someone ask me on my Facebook post the paint that I'm using for this build. I have 3 main and then my clear. So I've been using Rust-Oleum 2X for everything for the most part, except for one. So this is the primer. I know it doesn't need primer because this is the 2-in-1. However, I wanted to make sure it was a nice, durable paint job as much as possible. So I went with the flat gray primer. Going back on it, I might have gone with a lighter gray for the primer, but this worked out pretty well, so I'm not unhappy about it. For the main color of the Jeep, I went with this here, which is Champagne Mist. Most people think that the Jeeps in Jurassic Park were gray. In fact, they were not. They were actually a metallic beige, sand beige, I think. It's a hard color to come by. This Champagne Mist is actually really close to it, and it's not nearly as shiny as what the cap is, so if you're going to do something like this, don't be afraid of the cap. Then for the red, I went with Rust-Oleum 2X Paint Primer Ultra Cover. Again, this is Satin Apple Red, which is, if you look at it side by side, the final product is much shinier. However, that is because of the clear durable top coat that I did. This is the gloss, that's why I gave that a little bit of a shine. I haven't gone through and sanded anything yet as far as the gloss goes. I will do that. The only thing that currently has the gloss clear coating on it are all the red accent pieces. I haven't clear coated any of this yet because I still need to put the red stripes on yet. So that's it. That's what we got going on, and hopefully you enjoyed. If you do, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.